It's the topic really of today's conversation is just that. I mean, we have a lot of viewers and listeners who are obviously based in Europe, and it's very different from their perspective looking at us here in North America because we have the four big sports leagues, NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and they dominate the topic, the talking conversations of sports in Canada and in the United States. But we're seeing it change a little bit, like you said, Tim, with this championship battle this year. A lot of people that you would never expect to be watching Formula One are now watching it, and not only that, but investing time into it.
Yeah.
And when we get into the ratings, so of course in the United States, Formula One is airing on ESPN and ESPN2 occasionally,
Mhm.
and then here in Canada, it's airing on TSN. And just starting on the American side of things, in the first 9 races this season, viewership grew 39% compared to the 2019 season. In my
That's a good
opinion,
number.
yeah, pretty damn good number considering, like you said, the time differences. We're talking most of these races are in 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, even earlier if you're in the on the West
Yeah.
Coast, like Los Angeles, for example, or Vancouver here in Canada. And you have some of the numbers here with the peak viewership. You had Silverstone, of course, which reached 1.29 million viewers, the third largest audience in the history of Formula One on ESPN. You had the Hungarian Grand Prix, 964,000, which was the highest ever rated Hungarian Grand Prix. So these are just some examples here of the growth of Formula One. And you could even see, like, when the race is airing on ESPN2, for example, the Monaco Grand Prix, 934,000 viewers, which beat the 2018 and 2019 race, which aired on the main ESPN channel. And then, Tim, of course, you do a lot of work for TSN, which is Canada's leading sports network here in this country. And just by the way, check them out, tsn.ca. You can see a lot of Tim Hauraney's work after Formula One races, which provides some excellent analysis. And we've got an average that's close to 400,000 here as well. You see some peak audiences in Monaco, for example, 460,000. So it really is very nice to see the growth of that sport. And how much of that do you think really is attributed to that Netflix series of Drive to Survive? Is it 70% of that, 80% more? I mean, it just really feels like that Netflix series was even bigger than what we might have expected.
Yeah, I was hearing from Zach Brown not too long ago talking about the impact that Drive to Survive has had on Formula One, and I think there was a number being thrown around like it's one of Netflix most watched shows on Netflix, like
Wow.
ever.
Wow,
It's like in the top, like, and so they were saying it's well north of 50 million viewers.
that's
So
insane.
yeah, those are massive numbers. That's a huge data pool of folks to grab information from, to find out, how else that they can sell to these types of fans or whatever, right? That's the business side of things, like we all know. But making that push to get the U.S. market, it's such a big one for them to have, especially when you're owned by an American like media conglomerate, right? Like it's so important for Formula One to be a big sport in the United States, and um, oh boy, I mean, if they can get a driver into F1, that'd be huge. They need to introduce it into some bigger markets where they can attack, I guess, a different audience and pull in a younger audience as well, and go to places where there's more population. I mean, we saw that with IndyCar, when they really started to introduce the street circuits, they were bringing IndyCar to the people. And so similar to F1, when you go to the States, they're really, I think, looking at trying to bring Formula One to the people with this Miami Grand Prix, because, let's be honest, Coda is not close to downtown Austin. I've been there, so I know. So, I mean, I think it's a smart move by Formula One. It's definitely going to be exciting. I think they want to try and make it like a Monaco light sort of deal. I mean, I'm hoping the track is going to be cool. I've seen some renderings of it, and seeing them starting to build it gets me, that does get me excited, it really does. But I honestly think at some point or another, Roger Penske is going to enter the chat here at some point, and we are going to start talking about, Formula One going to Indianapolis at some point to race on that road course that they have there, like they did in the past. And since Roger, bought IndyCar, bought IMS, that was such a smart business move, because now he can do so much with that facility.